Hi, I'm Arash and this is our 20th lesson on part design of CATIA. In this lesson, we're going to talk about more features in the CATIA. So, uh, we talked about fillet and chamfer before. Let's talk about more features here. One of them is translation. This translation would move whole body and whole feature, whole solid to a direction. Maybe I want to move it to X direction by 100 millimeters. It's going to move it. And it has, if you double click on this one, you can see the last feature you have set to it. And if you say point to point, you can specify 2 points. So, for example, I want um, let me just delete that. I want this feature goes from this point to this point. I can select that and from point to point, select it from this point to that point. This is going to be translated to that point. What else I can do is I can make it coordinates like say to it's 50 to x direction, 100 in y direction, and 200 in z direction, and move it completely in 3 directions. So I deleted because we do not need it, but we have to know what it is. We will learn how to use these wonderful features in the mold design which we do in the part design. In the advanced part design, I will teach you how to make a complex mold in part design, but on that area, these features are going to play an important role. So the next feature I want to talk about is rotation. This is something like translate, but it rotates that. You can select an axis, y-axis, and rotate it to 30 degree, and it will rotate whole solid to that degree, and you can rotate it to 45 degree. You can delete that rotate. We can also symmetry that to something like symmetry that to this plane, but it will erase the first element. As we mentioned, for this mirror element, it will remain this one, and it will have two elements together. Another feature you have is the rectangular pattern. I can say that this current solid in the direction of this line, I will reverse it, and I want it to be a spacing of 80. I want it to be have 5 of it in this direction, and for the second direction I want to choose x-axis. I want to have, and we can reverse the direction by using this button. I want to have 120 because our length is 120, and have 3 of them. So we have 3 in this side, 3 in this side, and 5 in this side, and they are all merged together. I can delete the last order here and get back to our previous design, and we can make it circular pattern, but because we are in this area, we must specify an axis point, because we cannot use the x1 because it's will going to be weird. Maybe we can choose this line as an axis, so we choose that, and we choose this line as an axis, and we can choose different organism for this pattern. We can say complete crown. This is a really useful one, and say that I want to be one turn and have two of this or more, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7, whichever you want to. Let's make it 4. So we're rotating this over this line, and we have 4 of this. Let's delete the last feature. We can scale it up and down using the scale button, a scale command. But for the scale, we must specify the reference point. We can right click here and select the create point, and if we choose coordinates, we can specify 0, 0, 0 to use origin as the scale feature, and we can set redshift to be 2, and it is going to be doubled in here. If we delete the last scaling, we can use another feature called affinity. Affinity is completely like uh, the scale feature. We must choose a point here, but you can specify it in 3 direction. I want in x area to be 2 times bigger, in y area be 3 times bigger, and in z area be half. It's going to be half in this area, 3 times in this area, 3 times in this direction, and 2 times in this direction bigger. If I delete it, it's going to get back to its original form. So yeah, I think that is conclude to our tutorial in part design. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please do like, subscribe, and make a comment for us.